Though we've worked diligently to try to protect the classroom, we are having to impact teachers and teacher assistants to some extent already. And due to the previously outlined cuts, this year, the 2011-2012 school year, we're cutting 57 interim teachers in regular education and in the Exceptional Children's Program. In addition, 46 teacher assistants were cut. This is due largely to the pressure from the local cuts we had to make in the media assistance at the elementary level, as well as the cuts we had to make in the More at 4 program. These numbers are likely to increase in 2012-2013 unless something happens to provide more source of revenue for our school system to provide these needed resources in the classroom. I think it's also important to look at the cumulative impact on our school system of these budget cuts of the last several years. In 2010-11, Union County Public Schools had 502 fewer employees than it did back in 2008-2009. What's particularly troubling about this is 439 of these employees work directly with students. These positions included teachers, teacher assistants, counselors, assistant principals, nurses, and media specialists. And what's even more surprising here is that Union County Public Schools grew by 1,300 students during this time frame. So I think it's obvious to see that we have fewer employees and fewer people working directly with our students. This obviously will have an impact on the quality of education and is something to be concerned about as we move forward into future budget years. Now let's take a look at what our outlook is for 2012-2013. As I mentioned earlier, the greatest concern is the federal EduJobs money, which was $7.5 million for Union County Public Schools that we used to mitigate the impact of the state budget cuts. That will not be available in 2012-2013. Therefore, unless something major happens in a very positive way, and we're always hopeful that that will happen, and we'll certainly be advocating strongly for the state to step up and to try to fill this gap to the extent that their resources will allow. We anticipate that this potentially will affect the classroom to a great degree, teachers and teacher assistants. We'll do everything we can to minimize and try to mitigate and prevent that, but I just don't think it's going to be possible in 12-13 to not touch the classroom in a more serious manner than we've had to do up to this point. State budget cuts are likely to increase. Our discretionary cut is scheduled to grow from $11.5 million to $13.4 million. And again, it was $11.5 million this year with a $7.5 million in EduJobs money to sort of backfill or mitigate. Next year it could be $13.4 million with no EduJobs funding. And the local budget remains uncertain. We're already hearing that they're projecting approximately a $4 million budget deficit. We're a large percentage of the county budget, approaching 60%, about 57% to be exact. And the impact on Union County Public Schools with regard to the local budget remains to be seen at this time. We hope you found this video presentation to be informative about the challenges, the process, and the impact of the Union County Public Schools 2011-2012 operating budget. We know we face tremendous challenges this year and forward, but I'm still confident that our school system will continue to do a wonderful job of preparing all students to succeed. This is evidenced by our recent strong showing in the adequate yearly progress through the No Child Left Behind law at the federal level. Also, our strong graduation rate, which continues to increase. Our students and staff have received numerous awards at the state and national level, and we continue to see great progress in all of our schools. This is due in large part to the human resources we have in our schools. I know the physical resources are important, and we need those monetary supports in place to have those human resources, but it's you, the parents, the students, the teachers, the public, our school board, all the staff and everyone that are stakeholders in Union County Public Schools that make this a great school system. With all of us working together, I remain confident that we can continue to prepare all students to succeed through a strong focus on globalization, innovation, and graduation. Thank you.